It's so fucking idiotic. Yo, transfer that same energy to black people going forward, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Black Israelites exist, so fucking time to wipe out all black people. Like, literally fucking powerless a group. Like, that's the same fucking that's the same mentality, the same energy, dude. I think this video turned out it isn't what it looks like. I don't know what the fuck happened here, but I live in Israel and I know a lot more than you do, says Hamlin's hairline. Dude, I love this. Okay, go ahead. Israel also getting fired by Hamas terrorists as we speak. Why don't you show that? This is one side of the coin, Jewish, where Israel 2,000 years ago, they were banished. Bro, what is this? Avatar the Last Airbender, dude? What the fuck do you mean, dude? Oh, but they were banished when the Fire Nation attacked, dude. Oh, okay, never mind, dude. So it's fine. Do genocide then. You can have a crumb of genocide as a treat, my friend. My bad. Like, how can you unironically make this argument, dog? Like, how is this? At least talk about like the post-colonial displacement or some shit. At least talk about like fucking the Israeli migration and like a legitimate testament to or a legitimate fucking claim to the land that like Israel or Jewish people deserve to have their own nation state or some shit. You're literally pulling off like, well, 2,000 years ago they were banished. Oh, okay, my bad, dude. Fucking murder everyone in the region then. Yeah. I'm sorry to the UK bruvs. Time to give everything back to the Italians. Time to give the entirety of Europe to the Italians, as if we are going to assume that as the extension of the Roman Empire, okay? Sorry. Why are you fucking banished, dude? Sorry, bro. We got to give Venice back to the Ottomans, okay? All the lands leading up to Venice belong to the Ottoman Empire now. It's just what it is. It's just what happened. Like, if you can't look to the actions of the fucking... You're waffling so bad. What? How do you consider that waffling if you unironically consider a fucking... If this... We found some coins, literally the argument, yeah. If you unironically consider this to be a fucking legitimate stake to land, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Venice was never controlled by the Ottomans. I said Vienna. Did I say Venice? I meant Austria and Vienna. The gates of Vienna. Yeah, we need to... Honestly, I'm sorry I said Venice. I meant Vienna. We need to fucking give everything back to the Mongolian Empire, dude. Straight up. Anyway, the song they're dancing was banned in Israel due to the racism, but they started reusing it with complete protection from Israeli right wing and danced it after the burning a whole family and 2 kids alive a few days ago. What? Ottomans didn't breach the gates of Vienna, so Vienna is off. Yes, that's why I said all the land leading up to the gates of Vienna need to be given back to the Ottomans. Just like every fucking argument on this matter literally goes back to the same point, which is it's fucking justifiable to do this. It's justifiable to continue doing this kind of ethnic cleansing. That's all you're doing. Whenever you try to fucking make an argument, that's all you're saying. No matter how fucking silly, stupid, ridiculous, like, oh, 2,000 years ago, this was our land, so it's supposed to be our land. Like, we got to give everything back to the Neanderthals that we wiped out, or whatever the fuck. No matter what you say, like, you are ultimately still justifying ongoing ethnic cleansing right now that is happening when you have you have at the very least the moral obligation to understand what the fuck's going on and have a better approach to it.
For everyone. As you very well know, the international community does not recognize your sovereignty over East Jerusalem. A spokesperson.
Before we continue with this video, I got to run another fucking 60-second ad break because we are at the, once again, top of the hour. Every hour where there's a 60-second ad break, boys. You already know, in order to avoid the ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5, or you can subscribe for free by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and getting one free Prime subscription a month. Or you can use a VPN or ad block or whatever the fuck. Here's the ad break. Now I got to go.
Person for the United Nations High Commissioner said that any actions in Jerusalem that are enforced that would ultimately evict Palestinian families under international humanitarian law may amount to a war crime. What do you say to the international community who does not recognize Israel's sovereignty over East Jerusalem and says what you're doing to families like Mohammed al-Kurd and others is possibly a war crime?
We think that is the politicization of international law. We see all too much of that at the UN, and as you know, a series of Western democracies have come out very strongly against the Human Rights Council of the United Nations for having an anti-Israel agenda. Countries like Canada, Australia, the United States, Britain have all come out against this very, very anti-Israel agenda in that UN body. And so, I mean, you can quote them if you like, but I don't think they have a lot of legitimacy on this issue. As to the substance of the charges, I mean, Israel reunited the city in 1967. Before that, East Jerusalem was occupied by the Jordanians. I don't think anyone recognized the legitimacy of that occupation. Before that, it was occupied by the British Mandate. In fact, the last time the indigenous inhabitants of Jerusalem actually controlled the city was probably going back to ancient Judea. And
well, I mean, you know, we're not going down the history lessons here because, as you mentioned, you don't recognize Palestinian claims to their homes in 1948 Israel or in East Jerusalem. You won't allow them to use the same judicial process that you're advocating for Israelis to use.
Don't put words in my mouth. I said specifically that when it looks what happened in 1948, which that's what you're talking about here. I said that there was almost 1 million Jews who were thrown out of their homes in the Arab countries. There were less than that Palestinian Arabs who fled the fighting here. And just as we made homes for the Jews, and my wife's family were expelled from Syria and they had that terrible journey on foot from Syria to Israel, we think it's fair as we made...
Bro, I love this take. It's literally like, you know, other people were fucking bad to us, so we're going to be bad to other people. Like, we are going to literally subject cruelty that I am describing in fucking terms that are personal to me. I'm going to now do that to other people. Like, how is this any different than like a fucking 5-year-old being like, sorry, I'm going to continue the cycle of violence. Okay. Sorry. Like, what do you mean? Do you think when you're subjected to fucking cruelty, you get like one fucking get out of jail free card for genocide? Like, I don't get it. It's wild, dude.
At home that the Arab world would accept their Arab brothers and sisters and integrate them. I think that's.
I mean, straight up, he's like, why don't you fucking leave, dude? Former Israeli ambassador says a quiet part out loud. Just as we, Israel, made homes for the Jews, we think it's fair as we made homes that the Arabs would accept their Arab brothers and sisters and integrate them.
History.
Let me ask you finally about the rocket
situation. And if one wants to talk about justice for refugees, I think one can't be colorblind. One has to talk about justice for all refugees. It's good for...
Yeah, just for all refugees. Like, anyway, serious question. Does any of this fighting have to do with religion, or is it just land and border rights? I mean, religion is the spice that you add on top of it, the justification that comes along with what is going on, you know? Yeah, here, this is the video that I've been showing you guys. Only 90% though, boys. Come on. Only 90% success rating. I mean, they beat the shit out of Palestinian Jews and Christians all the same. His point is dumb. What? Bro, this is a Jewish holiday, to be fair. This is a Jewish holiday, Hassan. That's what they're celebrating. Bro, they're literally fucking talking about erase their names in their Jewish holiday. Listen, motherfucker, why are you unironically fucking doing a self-report and being like, Jewish holidays are actually tied to the eradication of Palestinians? God damn, dude. That's so fucking... What a pig. You are a fucking cruel piglet, dude. Literally. And then... okay, but why aren't you condemning other countries genociding Jews like Yemen? What the fuck are you talking about, motherfucker? What are you talking about? His point is dumb, but why aren't you condemning the genocide of Jews in Yemen and all over the Middle East? Only condemning the genocide committed by Israelis. I can't tell if, like, this is a fucking meme or not. Like, all genocide is fucking wrong. And that wasn't a fucking Jewish holiday. That was an Israeli holiday, Jerusalem Day. A celebration of the occupation. Stop tying Judaism to Zionism. Stop trying to fucking literally tarnish the reputation of all Jews by saying Jews celebrate death and destruction falling upon Palestinians. It's just their fucking culture. Why in the ever-loving fuck would you ever think that that is an acceptable take to have? No, I want to hear it. I want to hear fucking... I'm going to untime him out. I want to hear what Thick Bigums has to say. I'm going to untime him out. I want him to fucking talk about it. Yeah. Really important, Jewish holiday that has only been around since the overtaking of Jerusalem. Called Yom Yerushalayim. What? Yerushalayim. And is literally a celebration of settler colonialism. Go ahead, Thick Bigums. Let's hear what you have to say about that, dude. Like, what's this fucking argument, dude? Yo, I hear this all the time, too. It's like, well, what about anti-Semitism in other places? It's like, what do you mean? You think I allow fucking anti-Semitism to get by? Like, it's like Columbus Day if Columbus Day was happening during the fucking genocides of the native populations. No, I untimed him out. He got timed out and I untimed him out. Notice how he's no longer timed out? Because I untimed him out. Anyway. Streamer gives second chance to Pepega, instantly regrets it. Bro, I'm saying that these people are fucked up, but you are only condemning it on a large scale when Israel does it. I'm a big fan of you, and I'm not trying to sound annoying, but I'm just saying that you have to acknowledge both. Dude, the only reason why you're fucking bringing this up right now is because you think that I assume that you think it makes it somewhat more palatable or more appropriate or some shit. I hear it all the time. I literally fucking nonstop, relentlessly criticize Saudi Arabia's actions, for example. Okay? Like, all the fucking time, I criticize militant fundamentalist or Islamist groups and the things that they fucking do. I criticize the Turkish government for its foreign policy all the fucking time. Either you haven't been there for all of that, or you think that it's an appropriate time to bring up, like, well, Jewish people are oppressed elsewhere, so it's okay to fucking do it here to others. He's totally historically inaccurate too. Yemen marginalized and massacred his Jewish population, but it ended when all Jewish Yemenites fled to Israel. There was no extermination like he's saying. You never did a full 8-hour coverage on the Turkish genocide on Kurdistan, though? Motherfucker. I talk about, you're literally wrong. I actually did when the fucking northern Syrian corridor shit was happening. I literally did. I dedicated an entire fucking day to it, you piece of shit. Okay? I did. So you're wrong. Like, no, that person literally thinks I don't talk about this sort of stuff. He does. You know why? Because I saw him spamming this over and over and over again. Okay? There's no way that's bait. That is an actual either malding like Zionist person, or they're like literally thinking that I like they were gonna catch me in fucking hypocrisy or some shit. Any VODers? Yeah, go back and find the fucking VOD dipshit. Look at him. Look at how much 11 months subbed. Hamas or PKK, which is worse? Why did you never do full coverage on the Turkish genocide in Kurdistan? Why did you never do full coverage on the Turkish genocide in Kurdistan? I saw some pretty terrifying stuff online and would be nice for you to cover it. Would you say it's fair to compare the Hamas IDF conflicts with the PKK TAF conflicts? Would you never did a full 8-hour coverage on Turkish genocide in Kurdistan, though? Any VODers? He's not memeing. Like, he's literally been here for fucking 11 months. No, he's not fucking memeing, dude. He's like literally personally unaware of my coverage when that was an ongoing, it's still an ongoing issue. It's like getting mad at me. It's like if you fucking got mad at me that I literally don't talk about like the Saudi Arabian man-made famine and subsequent genocide in Yemen every day that I'm literally live when I'm talking about fucking Israel. Or it's like if I were to talk about anything else, you're like, well, why aren't you literally covering fucking what Israel is doing to Palestinians right now? It's like, I am a human being and I only have the capability of talking about certain things. I only have a finite amount of time that I can cover shit. Didn't you compare them in this segment? I did! That's the worst part. I literally compared them. Anyway. Why aren't you talking about like the fucking the Uyghur Muslims? Again, another good one. Israel only targets concentrated base of operations of the Hamas to eliminate their heads of terror and tells them ahead of time that they're going to bomb those specific places so they can evacuate the buildings. Oh, man. Dude, I love when you're ethically bombarding civilian areas, dude. It's fucking tight. I love the ethical bombardment that only ends up with like 9 dead babies. It's fucking so nice of them. Don't pretend like you're not arguing in bad faith. Oh, come on, dude. What the fuck? I don't know what you're writing here. It's just like, please stop. Don't make me start banning motherfuckers who are using like anything that's not English. There's got to be bait. I mean, that's got to be bait. It straight up has to be fucking bait. I assume. Translate. Oh my fucking god, dude. You are such a piece of shit, dude. Literally. Oh, I fucked it up.
I provided you.
What? Oops, that was the opposite of what I was trying to do. I wanted to read it. Anyway. Chatters who've been here for 10 plus months should literally remember Hassan talking about the Uyghur Muslim concentration camps. I have only listened to you talk about this yesterday and today. What happened to you? What happened to bring this area back into the news spotlight? Because of the additional over the top fucking actions that are beyond what the Israeli government has done in the past during Ramadan. They have like Jesus Christ. Wait, how do they know who's Israeli in the fucking car and who's Palestinian? That's so weird. This is what's happening right now in Ramla. Vehicle inspectors, a Jew is allowed to pass, an Arab is killed. Like yesterday in the Arab part of the city, the police are just not here, and the crowd is raging. Oh, license plates? Are there different markers on the cars? License plates, maybe? IDF does have mandatory enlistment, yes. Anyway. No sizes matter. No size meter. Like, look, see? I mean, that is some animal behavior right there. Ivan. All right. Let's move on from this stuff to another thing that is a problem in my life personally, as I briefly alluded to in the beginning of this broadcast. Credit reports.
Credit reports. The basis for the single most important 3-digit number in your whole life, other than, of course, 311, the Beatles of rap rock. Measuring credit enables businesses to know who to lend to. It's critical to our economy, and it always has been.
Millions of people use credit to buy the things that add up to a better living.
Well, there's sure a lot of things that I'd like to buy for better living. How about giving me a little credit?
Nobody gives you credit, John. It's something you have to earn.
To earn credit, first you have to develop your character. You have to have capacity to pay your bills. And third, you need some capital. Scoring high on these 3 C's is essential to earn a good credit rating.
Of course, back then, there was a 4th C determining your access to credit, namely what colour you were. It's a little bit weird that one didn't make the movie. But But you might be surprised at just how many aspects of your life your credit reports can affect. Because it's not just banks deciding whether to lend you money, it's also landlords deciding whether to rent you an apartment, insurers setting your rates, and even employers using it to decide whether or not to hire you.
47% of employers do conduct credit checks on new potential hires, and it is legal if the employer gets permission from the applicant.
That's right, nearly half of employers delve into credit histories when hiring. And just look on Craigslist, because you'll find credit checks are required in all sorts of job listings, from managing a Benihana in Cincinnati to this one, which reads, "Who runs those fireworks tents? It could be you. Application with good credit check required," which is clearly ridiculous. They don't need to bring credit into that job. They just need to ask the question, "What do you think of fireworks?" and then hear the answer, "Fireworks are fucking sick, bro. I fucking love lighting those fuckers." The only 3 digits they need to see are the ones on that person's 2 hands. There are 3 big credit reporting firms: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. All 3 aggressively market their products for uses beyond lending. For instance,
Demons, dude. The fucking worst, boys.
listen to how Experian convinces employers that your credit may reflect your future job performance.
If you manage your credit well, then it's very likely you're going to manage the company's money well.
Yeah, is it though? Because, look at me, my credit is probably fine, but I routinely waste HBO's money on stupid costumes, pyrotechnic displays, and checkered dress shirts. I clearly cannot manage this company's money well. Now, as for TransUnion, their website explicitly states that credit reports help employers make decisions quickly and easily when deciding on potential candidates, which is a little surprising given this exchange between a representative from TransUnion and an Oregon legislator.
What is the evidence that there's a strong correlation between accessing an applicant's credit history and eventual problems of loss to the employer or to the clients, I guess, in that case?
I would say that at this point, we don't have any research to show any statistical correlation between what's in somebody's credit report and their job performance or their likelihood to commit fraud.
Sorry, I'm like literally fucking looking through. Okay, you want to know the irony here? I'm literally looking through my loan options currently as a consequence of my credit personally, because I'm in the process of potentially buying a house. And right now I'm like, I'm not going to show you guys what the fucking loan options are, but like, I'm just going to let you know that like this morning, a mortgage broker checked my credit and I was met with a surprising, fun little piece of information that my credit score had improved dramatically. My credit score on like Mint said that I had a 704 credit rating, which is pretty fucking solid, I thought. I was wrong. Apparently 700 is like the bottom to be able to get reasonable fucking rates. And it has to be even more than 700. So I thought, my God, it's so good. What a good, wonderful day. And then my mortgage broker basically told me, oh, it's not even 700, dog. You're 640 on the system that I'm looking at. 700 is what you see, but 700 is not what, the lenders see, the banks see. So because of that, he was like, yeah, I mean, the interest rates that I'm going to look for you, like the best I can do is 5%. Now that is double the going rate, like more than double the going rate. If you have like really solid credit, you could find, like a reasonable interest rate. You could find and by the way, remember, I'm literally putting down like a fat down payment on top of that. Okay. How's your credit so fucking bad? Yeah, FICA and Vantage probably. I don't know what it is, but the beautiful part about it, of course, is that every time you check your credit score goes down. Okay, your credit score goes down when you check it, dude. So that's also another fucking incredible moment for me. My brother has dog shit credit and got a 2.69 mortgage. Yes, and this is at a time when the United States of America is offering like record low interest rates Like, this is the flex, right? That's why the housing market never adjusted to COVID or anything like that. Yo, 5% is actually really good, man, historically. Wait, what do you mean 5% is... Your credit score literally goes down when they check it. When they do an official credit score check, it literally goes down. That's not even a... Why are people saying... No, not... Soft checks don't affect rating, but I guess hard checks do. I don't know what the fucking difference is, but... Like, that was marked on my... what do you call it? That was marked on my fucking... credit score literally as a check. Can you check for free Credit Karma?
Okay, so they admit there is no evidence of a correlation, which does make sense, because a good credit score could mean you're unlikely to commit fraud, but it could also mean that you're so fucking amazing at it, you've never been caught. And incidentally, not 30 seconds later, that guy said this.
Given all things equal between 2 or 3 job applicants, if a person has a high amount of debt versus somebody who doesn't, and all things other being equal, well, maybe they want to consider that.
So wait, he's saying there's no proof of a correlation, but you're free to imagine that there is, which is not a strong argument. I can imagine that eating alphabet soup will increase my vocabulary. That does not make it indubitable. Oh, indubitable! I knew...
Hard checks, which are when an actual bank or credit company checks. Soft is like a Credit Karma. You can get it now at 5% and build your credit and refinance.
I ate a lot of letters yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
Indubitable. But look, giving too much credence to credit reports as a measure of character may be a big mistake. First, over half the debt on credit reports comes from medical expenses, and it seems unfair to judge someone for that. No one chooses to be sick.
I literally wish I could just praise Joe Biden like praising fucking Supreme Leader President G and just like improve my fucking credit score right now. Like it's literally better.
With the possible exception of Julianne Moore taking a run at Best Actress. But also, credit reports can contain a shocking number of errors.
A new government study found about 25% of consumers have an error in one of their credit reports. The study also found about 1 in 20 had significant errors that could cause them to pay more for a car loan or a mortgage.
Just think about that. 1 in 4 had an error, and 1 in 20 was seriously
wrong. If income to debt ratio is actually more important for mortgages, I wouldn't be having this problem. I'm just letting you know. Like, it's not... Like, it doesn't work that way. They just straight up are like, no, your credit score is dog shit.
Wrong. And that is not good.
This is not
true. If every 20th Frosty that Wendy sold turned out to be a cup of warm goat semen, we would want some accountability and we'd want it fast. At least freeze it. And look, those errors can be anything from including debt that you've already repaid to mixing you up with someone else entirely. Take what happened to a woman called Judy Thomas. She couldn't figure out why she kept getting turned down for loans until she looked at her credit report.
I saw debt from Utah Medical Center. I saw debt from a veterinarian clinic in Utah. I saw collections for a Judith Kendall.
Judith Kendall, not Judy Thomas.
Correct.
What's going through your mind?
What the hell is she doing on my credit report? What the hell is her debt doing on my credit report?
Wow. How can someone called Judy Thomas be mixed up with Judith Kendall? And also, if she's going to be mistaken for anyone, how is it not Leslie Stahl? Because that is spooky. And it actually gets worse. Because if a credit reporting agency matches your name to a list of suspected criminals the US has sanctions against, as they did with Amit Patel, you may be in for an unpleasant surprise.
After being denied his dream apartment, he asked his landlord why. As an answer, the landlord forwarded his credit report.
Can you read this for me? What does that say?
Terrorist.
Holy shit! That is terrible. Because one, he is not a terrorist, and two, I do hope we have a better strategy for dealing with terrorists than flagging their credit reports and denying them their dream apartments. Hey, not in America. Not in America. And being mixed up with a terrorist is not even the worst thing a credit bureau can do to someone.
Helen McGill was shocked when she went to buy a travel trailer to learn she was dead.
The financial manager came out and said, do you have like a copy of your card because you keep coming up deceased? So I was like, there's no way.
I don't have any credit cards. That's the reason why I have a fucking shitty credit score.
3 major credit bureaus listed her as deceased.
I even paid at that point too.
Like, I know why I have bad credit.
You can't get anything when you're deceased. No credit score, there's nothing. You don't even exist.
Just one error on your credit report and suddenly the world treats you like a mean girl treats the high school debate team. You're nothing, Amberley. You don't even exist. And here is the thing. It would be bad enough if this just involved the 3 big credit bureaus. But on top of that, there are now hundreds of different companies providing even broader background checks, which may bundle credit information with things like criminal or driving records. And while some companies appear to operate responsibly, others, like General Information Services, or GIS, do things that make you doubt their judgment. We actually found this fun video they made featuring Snow White coming to them for help.
Now, fairy tale isn't an industry that we specialize in, but lucky for you, our magic mirror can find anything worth locating. If only you were in the insurance industry, we've created tons of solutions for those guys.
Oh my, was that a fairy?
We're an equal opportunity employer.
Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Was that a homophobic fairy joke? Because it's hard enough to accept judgment from a company that would do that, let alone deliver it with the acting skill of a shy third grader. And background check agencies can take all the problems of credit reporting while adding a few more. And let's begin with the obvious here. As we've discussed before on this show, a criminal record does not necessarily mean you're a bad person or that you shouldn't be hired. But if you are going to use a criminal background check to make decisions, at the very least, they should be accurate. And frequently, they are not. Take Samuel Jackson from Chicago. No relation to the actor, obviously, or to the 3 different sex offenders one company confused him with, even though one of those convictions happened when Jackson was just 3 years old. Or as his lawyer puts it,
the background check company was aware that Mr. Jackson is only 30 years old, so it clearly couldn't have been him. And obviously, he couldn't be all 3 sex offenders at the same time.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not, because there's only one person who could pull off being 3 sex offenders at the same time, and that is Mr. Neil Patrick Harris. I'm not saying he is, I'm saying he has got the performance chops to make you believe it is possible. If he put his mind to it, he could be the literal triple threat. He's that good. He is that good a performer. And remember, these mistakes can cost people housing and jobs. It is no wonder that many firms have wound up facing legal challenges. For instance, just last year, GIS and their affiliates had to jizz out $13 million in fines and damages. And while they admit no wrongdoing, they've now lost so much money, their next shitty video is probably just going to be a filthy parrot in an old warehouse screaming, "Polly wants a background check." And at this point, you are probably thinking, well, holy shit, I should probably check my background and credit reports. Well, the good news is, under a law called the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the big 3 credit firms are required to give you a copy once a year. And there's even an official site where you can get yours. But if you do spot an error, your trouble may just be beginning. Remember Judy Thomas? It took her a surprisingly long time to get her credit fixed.
It became a 6-year battle with credit agencies, requiring box loads of correspondence to try and prove that she was Judy Thomas, not Judith Kendall. All to no avail.
I also hired a local attorney to try and straighten it out. We had everything certified. that this is Judy Thomas, this is where I live. I've never gone by the name of Kendall. I've never even been to Utah, let alone owing a cable company in Utah.
And what happened?
Nothing.
Oh, come on. At this point, I'm surprised you didn't just go, you know what, f it, I'm Judith Kendall. I'm moving to Utah and I'm getting a sick pet and a cable package. At least then my life will make some f***ing sense to me. It's probably not surprising that when we crunched the numbers, we discovered that the 3 big credit bureaus have been the subject of the most complaints to the CFPB since the start of last year. And they may say that sometimes they receive inaccurate data from creditors so the mistakes don't originate with them. But if that's true, their method for resolving those problems clearly needs to be better. And in a settlement agreement just last March, they actually pledged to improve their dispute resolution process. But before you get too hopeful about that, it's worth noting the industry has claimed for decades that they are always improving their accuracy, and yet for 25 years now, the news stories about them have had something of a similar tone.
We saw a recent study that said 25% of credit reports had errors serious enough to deny you credit.
A new study finds a staggering number of credit reports contain mistakes.
A new study says credit reports frequently have errors that can be very costly for consumers.
A survey by the U.S. Public Interest Research Group found nearly 1/3 of all credit reports contain serious errors.
You don't have to spend long preparing a broadcast about credit agencies before you learn one simple truth. Everyone, and I mean everyone, has a horror story.
It's pretty obvious that problems with credit agencies are a classic news story trope, like oldest person dies, or scary new teen sex trends. Coming up, we've all heard of Netflix and chill, but what does it mean when your teen says they're going to Hulu and Rim Job? It is not as innocent as it sounds. The point is, there is nothing new about this problem. In fact, when we were researching Judy Thomas's story, we found a news clip about a lawsuit from 2002 that gave us déjà vu.
It was the culmination of a 6-year battle for Judy Thomas, who tried repeatedly to get TransUnion to clear up the mistakes on her credit report.
Another Judy Thomas! So Judy Thomas was not even the only Judy Thomas this had happened to. The lesson here is pretty simple. If you or someone you know is named Judy Thomas, give up. There is no hope in life for Judys like you. And if anything, things are even worse with background check companies because they are also required.
It's like applying pressure to my chest watching this because, like, I'm currently dealing with it in real life on the side. Hold on.
Of your report if you request it. But there's a massive loophole there. Because unlike the credit bureaus, most of them don't keep files on all consumers. They just search for data when someone pays them to. And if you're about to apply for a job or an apartment, you might think, well, hold on, I want to be sure that there isn't a problem on my report, so I'll just buy it first myself. So we actually asked these companies if they'd let us do that, and they all said no. Meaning, if they confuse you with a sex offender, you might not find out until that job or apartment is all but gone. And of course, you know who you'll have lost it to, don't you? Neil Patrick Harris. Of course, you wouldn't even think he could take a certified public accountant job, but he can, and he does it so well, and he's so likeable while he does it. He is so good. Now, to be fair here, some companies will sell you your own report. So we had some of our staffers.
My favorite type of chatter is in the chat. Wow, imagine being upset. Imagine being upset that you can't get lower than a 5% interest rate while people can't even get a car loan because of medical debt. Oh shit, dude. Fuck, I forgot. There are people that are worse off than me, so I shouldn't be fucking critical of this system that subjugates that other person as well. You're right. Fuck, man. Fuck, you're right. Imagine being able to at least acquire medical debt, as in you still got medical treatment when people are fucking dying in underdeveloped parts of the world where they can't even fucking get medical debt. They would love to be saddled by medical debt, but instead they die because they don't have a doctor to take care of them. Wow, dude. How fucking privileged of you, dude. Fuck. Well, did I just own you now? Is that what happened? Did I own your fucking dumbass?
Buy their own background checks from a few companies. While most of them came back fine, 5 of our staffers' reports included alias names that they'd never heard of before, and one staffer, Charles Wilson, was mistaken for a man who was indicted for Medicaid fraud in Florida. Now, that site did say Charles's listing was pending verification, and it was later removed from his report. But it was still too late, because by that time, in a Spartacus-style show of support, our entire office had already rallied around Charles and committed Medicaid fraud. Because we care about him. And listen, given the stakes here, you would hope that these background check companies are being closely...
I'm not on here complaining to people that I can't get a lower interest rate or saying that watching a video makes my chest hurt. Dude, you're so fucking brilliant then, dude. Sorry, man. You're right. I should, going forward, again, dude, imagine backseating. Imagine backseating the fucking streamer's takes. Oh my lord, dude. Oh my fucking lord, dude. You're right. I should have just instead not even brought it up. You are right. You are right. The system is not fucking broken across the board. You're the one just, again, complaining like a baby about medical debt when people don't even have access to medicine. Privileged Andy on Twitch. Imagine being able to have the profound privilege to be able to watch Twitch on your fucking iPad as your mommy makes you tendies, dude. Fucked up. Fucked up, dude. Do you have more? Keep them coming, dude.
...monitored. But as this FTC official admits, there is an alarming amount that they don't know.
Is there any kind of national list of these companies? No, there isn't. So we don't know how many of these companies are even out there?
No, we don't. And I think that's one of the challenges.
Yeah, no shit, that's one of the challenges. You can't just lose track of how many background check companies there are the way that we've all lost track of the number of Oreo flavours. Roots beer float? Are you fucking kidding me? You are sick, Oreo. You're all sick. And the problem is, this whole industry seems uncomfortably complacent. In fact, remember that FTC study that I mentioned at the start, which showed that 1 in 20 credit reports had serious errors? An industry trade group put out a press release in response to that with the title, FTC Report Confirms Credit Reports Are Accurate, arguing that it showed 95% of consumers are unaffected by errors in their credit reports. But when you are holding records for more than 200 million individuals, that 5% error rate affects 10 million people. They're basically saying, great news, everyone. We only f***ed up a group equivalent to the entire population of Sweden. We're the f***ing greatest. If only we could make this whole industry understand the jeopardy that they're placing people in. Do you know what? Maybe we can. Because remember the big 3 credit companies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion? Well, we started 3 terrible companies with names that are problematically similar to theirs. Specifically, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. What do those companies do? Great question. If you just visit Equifax.com, you'll see that they take shelter animals to customers' homes where the animals lick peanut butter off people's genitals before being immediately returned to the shelter. Equifax is just an awful company, but don't worry, Equifax. I can't imagine anyone will mistake them for you. And if you go to Experian.com, you'll find a company that sends people to whisper passages from Mein Kampf into babies' ears, with the permission of neither the baby nor the parents. And finally, don't miss TransUnion.com, where you can buy these delicious-looking steaks made from the flesh of dead orcas who worked at SeaWorld. It would clearly be an absolute disaster for the credit agencies if they were mistaken for any of these companies. But don't worry, I'm sure that won't happen 95% of the time, and apparently that's good enough, right?
What now, orcas? What fucking now, orcas? Exactly. He also, of course, had a fucking furry joke in there. Are you eating orcas? Orcas are still in the chat, bro? Nah, dude. You're in your head about the credit score? I mean, it's fucking annoying. Somebody in your chat asked if they can send you a block of homemade cheese in your P.O. box. No. Please do not do it. Please do not do that. Do not fucking do that. Janitor humiliated. If you do that, I will literally exclusively watch Darman videos. But just kidding. We're not going to do that. What we are going to do instead is move on to the real fucking saga. A complicated tale. A tale between twin sisters. A story that revolves around immigration, wealth, twin sisters that are competing against one another, that are both 44 years old. And, of course, the wonderful nation of Albania, which will rise again and take over the entirety of Europe. I'm, of course, referencing the Darcy and Tom saga.
After
Darcy, get a credit card, give 200 subs in your chat every month for 3 months, and then soft check your score again. I don't know. I just want a free sub. Watch the Darman video with Cody Co. I've already seen it. Ladies and gentlemen, how many times will Darcy cry? How many times will Darcy cry? Is Darcy gonna try to break off a piece of that hot Albanian ass for herself? Find out on today's episode of 90 Day Reaxe.
Spending time in London, we took a side trip to Albania so Tom can meet my twin sister Stacy and I can meet her Albanian fiance Florian. It's cozy.
What a crazy day.
But instead of getting to know each other's guys, we ended up getting in a tiff. I'm happy you're engaged. It's a blessing. Well, do you really want me happy, Dars? I don't know. I was thinking the same thing about you.
It's been stressful today.
It's been such a long day, and
I meant the twin thing.
I mean, I understand Stacey and I's tit for tats. Gets to people,
It
but
sets a bad tone.
I understand. And I'm seeing a little bit of her demeanor with Florian for the first time. I think she's trying to pry for his attention and maybe show me.
It's not a competition.
I feel like he's acting immature.
But I think you are too.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Families argue, of course, but the tit for tat between the two is kind of, it was really starting to spoil the time that I was sharing with Darcy.
You need to sit with your sister and say it's making me uncomfortable. I've come all the way from where I lived to be in a place that I didn't really want to be, and I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, I agree, because I don't want that either.
Have a sit and chat with her and say,
I've
look,
tried to do
whatever
that.
this is between us,
I've tried to do that.
It's making it uncomfortable for Thomas, it's making it uncomfortable
I've
for
said that,
Florian.
and then she gets defensive and blames me.
I forgot. How much Anglophobia will I be able to get away with? Find out more on today's 90 Day Reaxe. Okay? Everything is just +1 on the counter for crying. I was wrong.
This trip is not going.
I can't even be as Anglophobic as I want to because like, You know something is fucking broken when the Tory British man who said British people hate going to Albania because Albania is communist is all we know about Albania. When that guy is the most reasonable motherfucker on screen, dude. You know what I mean? Like, that's where we're at currently, where the Tory man is the smart man
as
here.
planned, and I feel really bad that Tom's not in a happy space right now. I'm starting to feel like I'm to blame, but in a weird way, I'm starting to resent my sister for it too. Hey, Stace. Haters. Did you guys sleep
Morning.
okay? Yeah, did good. How are you this morning? Good. I'm just a little tired. Yeah. So do you like Albania? I love it. It's beautiful. It's cozy. It's just, you know, something about it. Thank you. You know, I just want you to come here and relax and not stress about anything and just get to know one another and, you know, just have a good time. No drama. Yeah. Well, trying. I just don't think a lot of people understand our twin relationship. I feel like it does make other people feel uncomfortable, and I understand. It's making my situation a little difficult, and I feel like he's not. Did Tom say something? Yeah, he said something. What did he say? I mean, I didn't really think that we had any. Well, I think it's our demeanor and the energy. Nothing bad happened. I mean, we've just all been together having a good time, and, you know, maybe some little, you know, comments or little eye rolls here and there. Like, it's an attitude that a lot of guys don't like, and it rubs people the wrong way. So we need to work on that. And you have to take me aside and say, this ain't cool. I ain't gonna have it. Oh. Yeah. Maybe he's using the excuse of the twin little cats or whatever because he's not feeling it. He's not feeling your vibe. So he wants to put it on us. I think he's just finding little things to nitpick about and just get mad at Darcy about. Maybe because he really...
What is this one woman play? It's pretty avant-garde. Good one, dude. No, it's actually two women. They're twins who decided to get the exact same plastic surgery to literally look like one another, which is actually wild. Like, I haven't gotten over that point. It's just, they literally got the same plastic surgery. It's kind of cool. Kind of weird. Kind of cool. Kind of a red flag. Who knows? Anyway. Please see this fish article from today. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not making that mistake again. Anyway, a mistake I will not be making is looking at that fish again. And a mistake you shouldn't be making is seeing the ad breaks at the top of the hour. Because it is top of the hour. It's time for a 6-second ad break. If you'd like to no longer see the ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5 or for free by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. You get one free Twitch Prime subscription. Use it on your favorite 90-day reaction streamer who happens to be Turkish. Here it is.
Doesn't see it going anywhere.
Okay.
I'm kind of seeing shades of
stop linking that video about the Suez Canal and the Israeli-Palestinian conflict or whatever the fuck you're linking. I'm not going to literally turn back from watching 90 Day Fiance back to covering the Israeli-Palestinian conflict when I've done it for 4 hours today and like 8 hours yesterday. Please stop.
You know, with this new relationship, just don't want her to, you know, end up disappointed. Once again, it's like you have this pattern of, you know, always finding people to say you're the problem. You know, take some advice from me for once. Your relationship, you know, it's great and all, but I don't think it's perfect. You're 3 years in, engaged or whatever. Is that really the life you want? I don't know. Still trying to...
God damn. Okay. She's throwing daggers because she herself is pissed in her situation. So now her only form of retaliation is to be like, well, your shit sucks. Claws are out, boys.
That's why I think I take things a lot slower than you. You know? Oh, yeah, slower. You got engaged the first trip. And we're
Not
still
even 2
engaged.
God damn. And we're still engaged. At least I still got my engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a soft deflect. Now that's called a riposte, actually. A quick parry plus attack shows you the effectiveness of the riposte.